So Micah 6, chapter 6, verse 8 tells us, he has told you, O man, what it is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice and to love kindly and to walk humbly with your God. So here we are. Here are the things that God desires. It's simple. Be just. Be a fair person. Be kind to others and be kind to yourself. Let's not forget that. Because a lot of us, we forget. We do ugly things to ourselves. We're damaging our bodies with the drugs, with the bad habits, right? We don't care enough about ourselves. How can we expect others to love us more than we do ourselves, right? Be humble when it comes to God. Humble yourself in the face of God. So these are the main key things that God desires from us, right? So here we are. We're talking about the formation, the calculated steps now. So these are the ingredients of a successful living. To live in a peaceful and productive life where you can share this land together with the least amount of problems and issues out here. Now let's talk about one's calculated risk, right? The risk that we calculate. In order to achieve success in this life, this is right here, this is heavy. If you aren't taking risks, then you're not growing. But if it's not uncomfortable for you, then you're not growing. So we got to take some leaps of faith in this world in order to know how good our faith is. Did you hear what I said? I said you got to take some leaps of faith in order to know how good that faith works. You understand? To actually know how good the faith works for, to know how it works for us. So however, our steps in faith have to be calculated all the way up until the step. So it requires us to take the leap, activating our faith in accordance with the steps. So we lead ourselves to the step, right? But even that we do not do alone, because it's God who gives us the courage to take the step. But every time we get up, we give up. We give it to God. Excuse me. Every time we give it to God, we win. Every time we rely on God, we win. And when we put our trust in God, he uses that as an opportunity to show out. If you know anything about God, if you put that faith in him, he ain't letting you down, because he is that one. He is that one. You did. He uses that as an opportunity to show out. Okay? LeBron in the fourth quarter. Jordan. Hello. 10 seconds left to go on the clock. Oh, that's God, baby. Slide right in when you need him. You be stressed all the way till it happens. But he told you not to worry. How big is your faith? How great is your faith? But we only need the faith of a mustard seed, right? So all you need is a little. It's going to grow into something big. So watch this. So he is an unfailing God. An amazing God he is, right? Let's not forget amazing. So we got to learn to appreciate the value and the impact of God that he has in our lives. I think a lot of us take it for granted. Because although we take risks in our lives, at the times due to our faith in God, we must learn to use the faith, right? And not to be reckless with it. So I'm getting to something really important. So yes, I said it. Faith comes with responsibility. Hold up. I know y'all wasn't ready for that. Y'all thought it was free faith. You thought it was easy faith, huh? Let me tell you about God. Let me tell you about all the things that are worth having. You understand? It's going to be a little trial. It's going to be a little uncomfort to get that. But it's going to be worth it in the end. So let me tell you something. We fail to realize the impact of God in our lives at times. We take it for granted. Because although we take risks in life, due to our faith in God, we learn to use the faith and not to be reckless with it. So I said it, faith comes with responsibility. Now here we go into something deep. So we must calculate the amount of risk we should take in new seasons of transitioning. In order to be successful with our faith and truly benefit from it, we must also use wisdom with it. Okay, hold on. Now we're going a step further. I said it's not just faith. It's being responsible with your faith, knowing the risk that you should and should not take. You understand? So now here comes wisdom. This is what God give you wisdom to know. Apostle Paul tells us in Romans 12:3, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment. Hold on now. That means you're thinking clear. You ain't high. See, if you on a high, that means discernment. There you go, my brother. If you on a high, that means you up. You know what I'm saying? You might be out of the sight of vision. You might not be clear to see. You see what I'm saying? You might not be seeing clearly because you too high up. Sometimes we got to come down a little bit, right? To discern, as my brother said here. My brother Ellis just said. Discernment, right? So here we go a step further. Don't think of your, Romans 12:3 said, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, in accordance with the faith God has distributed to each of you. So here we go. We're about to really get into something very, very deep. Something as I was studying that I learned myself. I picked up myself, right? Remember, I'm still learning in the process, right? I don't know it all. I'm just here to tell you what God has told me. That's what we're doing. It's Baby Talk TV. Here we go.